speaking of turning it off, we've got a very interesting letter that was released. So let's get into this. So we've got a very interesting letter. This letter is extraordinarily interesting. Some would even classify this letter as
unbelievable.
So we're going to read this letter. So Trump issues a statement on Mitch McConnell. So a reminder, Mitch McConnell voted to acquit Donald Trump. So Mitch McConnell is a cuck. He is a beta male, folks. He's a cuck. He was on his knees. He had Trump's dick in his hand, and Trump couldn't even get hard. That's how useless Mitch McConnell is. So let's read. The Republican Party. This is a statement by Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America. So, the Republican Party can never again be respected or strong with political leaders, in quotes, like Senator Mitch McConnell at its helm. McConnell's dedication to business as usual, status quo policies, together with his lack of political insight, wisdom, skill, and personality, has rapidly driven him from majority leader to minority leader. And it will only get worse. The Democrats and Chuck Schumer play McConnell like a fiddle. They've never had it so good, and they want to keep it that way. We know our America First agenda is a winner, not McConnell's Beltway First agenda or Biden's America Last. You know what? Let's kick it into high gear, folks. Let's kick it into high gear. In 2020, I received the most votes of any sitting president in history. Not the most votes of any president in history. Because again, Donald Trump got the second most votes in presidential history. So he's like, if assuming his election fraud gambit is correct, right? He should say, I got the most votes of any president in history. But he's not. So he's backing off a little bit. So almost 75 million votes. Every incumbent House Republican won for the first time in decades. And we flipped 15 seats, almost costing Nancy Pelosi her job. Republicans won majorities in at least 59 of the 98 partisan legislative chambers. And the Democrats failed to flip a single legislative chamber from red to blue. And in Mitch's Senate, over the last 2 election cycles, I single-handedly saved at least 12 seats, more than 8 in the 2020 cycle alone. And then came the Georgia disaster! Yo, I can't.
Even before you do that, and not even including that, that's why I hardly even included that number, although in one state we have a tremendous amount of dead people, so I don't know. I'm sure we do in Georgia, too.
And then came the Georgia disaster. Should have won both U.S. Senate seats. But McConnell matched the Democrat offer of $2,000 stimulus checks with $600. How does that work? Maybe it's not because it could possibly be that Trump pretended the election was stolen and therefore a lot of his people didn't come out and vote. No. How does that work? It became the Democrats' principal advertisement. Is principal there spelled is that spelled correctly? Can you use, I thought that's like the principal of a school. Can you use that in that context? Principal. Hold the phone. Oh, okay. Huh. Interesting. I'm learning new things every day, folks. And a big winner for them it was. McConnell then put himself, one of the most unpopular politicians in the United States, into the advertisements. Many Republicans in Georgia voted Democrat, or just didn't vote, because of their anguish at their inept governor, Brian Kemp, Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger, who, by the way, is filing a criminal law probe against him, and the Republican Party for not doing its job on election integrity in the 2020 presidential race. It was a complete election disaster in Georgia and certain other swing states. McConnell did nothing and will never do what needs to be done in order to secure a fair and just electoral system into the future. He doesn't have what it takes, never did, and never will. Right, but there's page 2. You ready? All right, let's go. My only regret is that McConnel begged for my strong support and endorsement before the great people of Kentucky in the 2020 election, and I gave it to him. He went from 1 point down to 20 points up and won. How quickly he forgets. Without my endorsement, McConnell would have lost, and lost badly. Now, his numbers are lower than ever before. He is destroying the Republican side of the Senate, and in doing so, seriously hurting our country. Likewise, McConnell has no credibility on China because of his family's substantial Chinese business holdings. By the way, reminder, it came out during the election season that Trump pays more taxes into China than he does in the United States. But, whatever. He does nothing on this tremendous economic and military threat. Mitch is a dour, sullen, and unsmiling political... Motherfucker! Dude, I can't.
Unbelievable.
Mitch is a dour, sullen, and unsmiling political hack, and if Republican senators are going to stay with him, they will not win again. He will never do what needs to be done, or what is right for our country. Where necessary and appropriate, I will back primary rivals who espouse making America great again, and our policy of America first. We want brilliant, strong, thoughtful, and compassionate leadership. Prior to the pandemic, we produced the greatest economy and jobs numbers in the history of our country. And likewise, our economic recovery after COVID was the best in the world. Wait, was? Was? Wait, our economic recovery after COVID was the best in the... What do you mean was? We're worse off than we were ever before. What do you mean was? What? We cut taxes and regulations, rebuilt our military, took care of our vets, became energy independent, built the wall. All of these are lies, and stopped the massive inflow of illegals into our country, and so much more. And now, illegals are pouring in, pipelines are being stopped, taxes will be going up, and we will no longer be energy independent. This is a big moment for our country, and we cannot let it pass by using third-rate leaders to dictate our future. Hello, Max. Are you okay? Can I close the door? Can I stop letting the heat out, Max? This is hilarious. I just want to say, again, I just want to go back into my blowjob analogy. So again, McConnell is on his hands and knees begging for that dick, and Trump can't even get hard. That's the situation we're in right now. It is, in all senses of the word.
Unbelievable.
Fuck. It's just, why would you, I can't. In fact, you know what? I won't.